Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I am back and today I have 10 DIY Rustic Christmas ornaments for you guys. I really hope you will like them. They're all very easy to make and super inexpensive. So let's go ahead and get started. Ornament number 1. For this one, I took this wooden tag that I got from Joann's for 49 cents, and I'm gonna give 2 coats of this wood tint in a color gray by Folk Art. And then after I was done with that, this is how it looks like. Then I'm gonna add a Rust-Oleum chalk paint in a linen white color and a chippy brush, and I will just distress it. After I was done distressing it, I'm gonna go ahead and take a sanding block and I will sand the edges because they were pretty rough, but I also wanted it to look a little more rustic. Now I'm taking a pencil and I am freehanding Santa's Magic Key. Now, for this, you can use stencil, you can use your cutting machine, you can freehand it like I do. I thought this will be the best way for me. I added a few stars as well, and then I'm taking this fine tip marker in a color black, and I am just tracing it. When I was done with this part, I took this key. I had this on hand. It's smaller than I would wanted to, but I already had it at hand, so I decided to use it. I'm gonna also use this brown chalk paint by Waverly, and it's in a truffle color, and I'm gonna just dab it on to make it more rustic. When I was done with that, I prepared a 1 bead, that key, and I am making a tassel out of this white cotton twine from the Dollar Tree. I made tassels many times on this channel, so I'm not going to repeat it. You can watch what I'm doing. But after I was done with that, I am adding the bead on to the twine that I attached to my tag. After that, I am attaching the key to the tassel, and then I'm attaching all that together on the top of the bead. And I just tied a knot and wrap it around, securing it with the hot glue. That was kind of the best way that I, figured it's going to stay, and it will stay away from the letters so it doesn't cover up the letters. I also made a knot on the top of this twine that it's going to be actually hanger, and after that, this project is completed. Super cute, super easy ornament, and I'm sure kids will love this the most, of course. Okay. Now we can go ahead and start with ornament number 2. Okay, for this one, I decided to go ahead and get 6 Jenga blocks, and I am going to hot glue 3 facing like a flat side next to each other. And I put a little more hot glue and just didn't press all the way because I wanted that little gap to be in between. This is going to be representing books, stacked books. So now that I have both of these, one I will paint with Rust-Oleum chalk paint in a linen white color, and I made sure to have those gaps in between these. So I went back and just kind of, brushed off the paint off of these gaps. And next one, I'm using this Sage chalk paint by Folk Art. After both of these are painted and dried, I went ahead and got my very, very fine marker. And on the white one, I am writing Farm Fresh Trees. And I'm using a green marker to kind of draw 3 trees right in the middle. And on the other one, I spelled have yourself a merry little Christmas. Now, of course, again, and this is optional, you can add anything you want, any any saying you want, any song names, and you can use your cutting machine for this as well. Now I'm taking this white cotton twine from the Dollar Tree, and I doubled it up, and then I wrap it a few times, and then I'm gonna take another piece of twine and I will just wrap it around that top part like I'm showing over here, just to make it nice and neat, and that will be the hanger. It will be what this cute little ornament will hang from the tree. I think it's so adorable. I'm in love with these. I love miniatures. I always have, but this one just blows my mind and I absolutely love it. Tell me what you think about this one. Okay, ornament number 3. For this one, I'm going to be using this musical sheet that I got from Hobby Lobby. They're very inexpensive. They're anywhere from 25 to 50 cents a piece. Now I'm going to measure 2 inches by 3 inches, and I'm going to make cut out 2 of those rectangles. After I cut both of them out, this is how they look like. I'm going to take one of them, I'm going to flip it over, and I took first pencil, but it was too thick. Then I decided to take a little thinner paintbrush, and I just started wrapping towards the middle. And then I did the same thing on the other end, wrapping towards the middle. When I was happy the way it looks like, I added a hot glue, making sure both sides are wrapped towards the middle and there is no gap in between. After that, I am taking natural color jute one, and I'm wrapping 2 times around the middle. And then I am just tying a bow, a very simple bow, right in the middle. And I'm cutting off the tails because I want them to be pretty short. After I was done with that, I am going to go ahead and add one white button right in the middle of the bow. So I'm just adding hot glue and adding the button. After that, I'm taking a little more jute twine, and I am filling that top hole in with the hot glue, putting one side, and I'm doing the same thing on the other side, and that is going to be the hanger part. And I'm going to do the same thing with another piece of the paper, and this is how they look like. Aren't these adorable? I love these musical sheets, and I think they're just gorgeous and so simple to make, guys. Again, please tell me in the comments down below your thoughts. For all of you that are new to my channel, welcome. I am Jelena, stay-at-home mom of 2 kids. I always loved crafting, always loved doing DIY projects, and it has to be on a budget. Everything that I make has to be on a budget, mostly rustic and farmhouse style. I do try some other styles as well, but if you're returning, thank you so much for being here. It means so much to me, and it helps my channel going forward, and I want to just thank you and tell you how much I appreciate you. If you love my videos, please give them a thumbs up. It means so much to me. Also, if you're new, subscribe. I would love to have you. Don't forget to click on notification bell on so you don't miss any of my future updates. Okay, let's go and continue now. Ornament number 4. For this one, I'm going to be taking these large beads. I cannot tell you exactly how many millimeters, but this is really optional. You can take whatever you have at home. And I'm going to be painting, I'm taking 6 of them, and I'm going to be painting them with the white chalk paint. And the second coat, I actually just dabbed the paint on it because I didn't want brush strokes to be visible. After that, I'm taking this cork that I had on hand, and I'm just cutting off one little piece. And then after that, I'm going to take this package of wooden pieces from Dollar Tree. They're like little angels. I'm taking off the wings, and I'm going to cut off the head. I'm sorry, that sounds bad, but yes, you can. These are going to be hats. So for this, you can use anything you have on your hand, anything you have in your house. It doesn't have to be this, but this is just an idea. Now I'm going to make a hole in this. Be super careful if you're doing this, of course. After that, I'm going to also make a hole in this cork as well, and I also created a little larger circle, larger than this cork, and that's going to be bottom part of the hat. So I'm also creating holes, like I said. Now that I have holes in everything, I'm going to be painting this hat with the black ink chalk paint, and then the other one with the red that I mixed with a little bit of black. So this left one will be the hat for the lady snowman, and the black one will be for gentleman snowman. Now I'm going to create tassels, and as I already said, I created so many tassels. You can find tutorials in my previous videos or anywhere on YouTube pretty much. So I'm using this natural color jute twine to create these tassels. But the one that I tied on, the twine that I tied on top, I left long because that is where I'm going to put all my beads. So now that I I'm almost done creating these, I'm going to show you the process of making these cute snowman ornaments. Okay, so now I have both of these, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of hot glue on both of these. And then I'm going to start putting the beads. So 3 on one and 3 on the other one. So after I was done with this, I'm going to add the head pieces. I'm going to add a hot glue just to keep them together. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the gentleman snowman, Mr. Snowman. Okay, when I was done with this, I'm going to take marker to create their eyes and their smiles. And then after that, I have the orange one for the nose. This was such a fun project to make. I mean, as you can guess, my kids loved it, and it made them so happy. Okay, now that I'm done with this part, I'm gonna go ahead and add scarves for them. For Mr. Snowman, I have this black ribbon that I'm gonna just tie almost like a one side bow. I don't even know how to explain. So you see what I'm doing over here. Just like on one side there's a bow. And then for the lady, I have this red and white checkered ribbon. And I'm going to just tie a very simple knot. And the only thing left to do is to add knots on the top of their heads, just to make sure the beads don't move. And here they are. They're so stinking adorable. I cannot explain, but I want to hear what you guys think about these two. Ornament number 5. Okay, for this one, I'm going to be using this wire that I had on hand, and I'm going to be wrapping it around something that I had on hand, which is this speckling from the Dollar Tree, just to make it looped a few times around it, make it thicker. And then I am wrapping the ends, and then I'm cutting right in the middle. That's going to be opening for my beads. I'm using these two sizes of beads, one smaller, one larger, and I'm going to alternate them all the way around. So smaller, larger, until I filled this whole ring up. When I was done, there is a little bit of wire left on top, and I'm going to just squeeze it together and wrap it. And then I cut off the excess and wrap that pokey end inside of the ring. Just make sure nobody gets hurt. Okay, when I was done with this part, I'm going to go ahead. I took 3 strands of natural color, or actually white colored jute twine, cotton twine, I believe. And I just braided it all the way. When I was done, I put the knot on the other side. And I'm going to use this as a hanger. So I actually just tied a very simple knot, looped it through and tied a knot. And when I was done with this, on the top, I'm going to pinch these two together and take another extra piece of this twine, and I just wrapped it a few times around to make it nice and neat. And then I cut off the excess, and next thing will be to add a little bow. I'm using the same checkered white and red ribbon that I used for Mrs. Snowman, and I am gonna create just a super simple bow. And I'm going to attach it right there where the twine meets the beads. And that's going to be it for this cute ornament. I love this one. It is very neutral, but has that pop of color, and it's natural. I love these beads. I think it looks so adorable. Please tell me your thoughts. Ornament number 6. For this one, I'm taking this actually bracelet. It's a wired bracelet I had for a long time. I'm going to cut off with the pliers the top again, so I am able to put the beads. I'm going to use, I believe, 7 beads. They are a little bit bigger than the ones that I used earlier, but this is again optional. You can use any size that you have. After I was done with this part, I'm going to go ahead and add some greenery. I got this picks from Target Dollar Spot for $3. First, I'm closing up the gap using a little bit of hot glue. And then I took this piece of that greenery, and I'm just cutting off the ends because I didn't want it to be too big and cover up the beads. So I was just going back and forth, cutting as much as I thought it's needed. And I also cut off that top part that's sticking out. And then I added a little bit of hot glue to attach it, and also this green twine that I also got from the Dollar Tree. So with the hot glue and that green twine, I'm sorry, I'm gonna attach this greenery to this ring. So I wrapped it a few times and then I secured it with the hot glue. Okay, when I was done with this part, I went ahead and got more of the jute twine. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm adding a little bit of hot glue inside of the beads so they don't move around. Okay, now I'm taking more jute twine. I tied a knot on one end and I am just pulling it through, and I am looping it the other side. I hope you understand. You saw what I did over here, just to create a little loop so I can hang it. And I also added these two mini pine cones right on the top of my ornament. And that's gonna be it for this cute little ornament. I love it. I think it's so adorable. And it was so easy to make. So you guys saw, and this is totally optional. If you can add a bow, you can add anything you want to it. This is just an idea, and I hope you like it. Okay, ornament number 7. For this one, I had this plastic ring. I don't even know what is it from. I believe when I bought a scarf, that's what it came with, but I save a lot of things, so you can use anything you have on hand. I'm going to be adding a little bit of hot glue to attach the natural color jute twine. I cut off a pretty large piece of it, and I'm going to just start wrapping all the way around. I really did not have to add any hot glue. It just stayed where it is. It really laid down nicely flat. So it was very easy to do, and it didn't take me a long time. So when I wrapped everything, this is how it looks like. After that, I'm going to go ahead and burn it just a little bit. And this is totally optional, but if you're doing this, please be careful. Okay, I got these snowflakes. They're rusty snowflakes from Hobby Lobby. They were $2.99 for 10 pieces, and they were 40% off. I took one and it already comes with a twine. So I just wrapped that twine on the top, added a little bit of hot glue, making sure that this snowflake is right in the middle of my ring. After that, I doubled up jute twine, and I added right on the top to create a hanger. I added a little piece of jute twine, wrap it a few times around just to make it nice and seamless. And after that, I'm going to tie a knot on top of this hanging piece, and that's going to be it for this project. Oh, sorry. Yes, there's a little bow made from a white cotton twine that I put right where the ring meets the twine, hanging twine. And then that's it, guys. This is another super cute, very rustic farmhouse looking ornament that I absolutely love. What do you guys think about this one? Okay, for all of you that are on the social media, I would love to connect with you. I'm on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. Just come and say hi, introduce yourself. Also, reminder, my regular upload times are Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I try to let you know if there's any problems or if there is any change of times, usually on my community page. Okay, ornament number 8. We're almost at the end. I'm using this musical sheets that I already used earlier. And then I'm using this ornament wood cut out from Joann's. It was 49 cents. I'm just going to trace it. And after I cut it all out, I'm going to use a Mod Podge to attach it to my wood cutout. So I'm just going to put one very thin layer of a Mod Podge. I'm going to apply this, put this sheet, leave it to dry completely. Then I'm taking a sanding block and I am sanding from the front portion to the back portion. So I'm like downward motion so it doesn't peel off. And also I wanted it to look rustic, so I sanded a little bit more. I'm also adding this chippy brush that has a little bit of white paint on it just to distress it even further. Then I'm taking this antique wax by Folkart to distress the edges and especially the top part of the ornament. Okay, when I was done with this part, I'm adding a little bit of greenery, the same greenery that I used earlier. I'm just adding a little bit, and also I'm going to be adding this natural color jute twine. Again, I am pulling one end through and just looping the other end through it. And that's it. After that, I decided to go ahead and add a little pine cone that I used earlier. Actually, I think I added 2 at the end, right in the middle. And that's going to be it for this project. Look how cute this is. I love these musical sheets. They really make me happy. They remind me of Christmas, of course. And I hope you like this ornament. You can add any really color you want, any sheet that you want, any fabric if you have. So versatile. Okay, ornament number 9. For this one, I'm using 3 large craft sticks. These are, I think, from Home Improvement Store. I think it's quart size. And then I'm gonna cut off the round ends first. And after I was done with that part, I'm gonna measure, I believe, 3 inches. But this is so optional. You can make as large as you want or as small as you want. These are very easy to cut. You just use box cutter or X-Acto knife, and you just score a few times and snap it right off. And you can help with your scissors as well. So now that I have these 3, I am measuring how much I need to cut one more to the width of these 3. And I'm going to also score this one right down the middle, just like I'm showing over here. After that, I'm going to take a sanding block and I will sand everything just a little bit, making sure everything is nice and smooth. Now that I have all this, I'm going to take the Fall Cart antique wax and I will give all this one good coat. When all this was completely painted or actually stained and dried, this is how it looks like. I'm gonna take these 3 put together, and then these smaller pieces I'm gonna, with the hot glue attached to the sides, they're gonna create kind of a frame and keep these 3 pieces together. I'm taking this same snowflake that I used earlier, and I'm sorry my camera did not focus, but I was just dabbing a white paint onto it. I wanted it to look flocked, but pretty much covered with the white. And I love this color block with this antique wood and this white color. I hot glue it right in the middle. Then I'm taking a little bit of jute twine doubled up. I'm tying knots on both sides, and I'm just hot gluing those knots down, creating a hanging part. And that's going to be it for this cute little ornament. So simple, so inexpensive, and very versatile. Again, you can use anything you have on hand to put up front. It doesn't have to be snowflake, but please tell me in the comments your thoughts about this one. And now we're ready to start the last one, ornament number 10. For this one, I'm taking bamboo skewers. I'm going to be cutting off the pointy end with my pliers. And after that, I'm measuring off 4 inches. And I am going to be cutting off 5 pieces. So after I have all 5 pieces, I'm going to be putting them in a shape of a star. And I will go ahead and attach all these with the hot glue. So dab of hot glue where 2 meets. Hold them for just a little bit until hot glue dries. And that's going to be it. So you keep adding hot glue and adding pieces until the star has been created. After I was done with this part, I'm going to go ahead and get this white colored cotton twine from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and put a little dab of hot glue on one corner, as I'm showing over here. Attach this twine and start wrapping it around several times just to cover up that tip, and I'm going to attach it with the hot glue in the back, and I'll do that to all of these. Then I'm taking the same twine, again, same like I did the rest of them, just looping it through and then secure it with the hot glue in the back, tying a knot on the top of this hanging part, and then cutting off the tails. Okay, after that, I decided to take a few small little greenery pieces to put them right on top, and one pine cone. And that's going to be it for this last ornament, guys. This one was also very simple to make, super, super cute. I really like it. I would like to hear from you. What do you think about this one as well as all of them? I would like to hear from you. Which one was your favorite? Would you like to recreate any of these or all of them? And just introduce yourself if you're new. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I have a lot more Christmas projects coming up. I'm so excited about this season and creating, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.